Hey, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Gotta start the music. Gotta not start the music. Nope, starting the music. Music started. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's get down to business. We're already working on this. Oh, wait. We're going to beat the Huns today. Let's get down to business. Why did it change cameras? We don't know. Other camera? No, we still won't work. Right? You're not my real dad. You can't force me. You can't make me do the things I don't want to do. Right? Don't tell me what to do. Don't get in trouble. Don't tell me what to do. I do what I want. God. Lower Decks is awesome. All right. I don't know what's going on now. All right. Tomorrow, I have to meet with the boss. I should put that in my calendar, otherwise I'll forget. So calendars are for, man. Meet with boss tomorrow. Hang on, guys. Put this in our calendar. Time as busy. Make the color blue so that my wife doesn't think it's something she needs to do. These are all very important things. All right. Putting things in. Boy, I got a week starting to pile up here. Whew, my day's starting to climb into normalness here. Weirdness. Okay, why won't you operate? Why won't you just be normal? Why can't you just be normal? Cancel. Configure crossbar. Ooh. But the day one's not working anymore. The night one works, but the day one doesn't. This makes total sense, guys. I'm here, I'm not. I'm here, I'm not. I'm here, I'm not. Okay. Good morning, Brent. This is me trying desperately to figure out what's wrong with my camera. Well, it's not my camera. I shouldn't say that. It's OBS, which has again decided to be like weird and strange and not make any sense. So you know when you have a system that's old and it's been running for a few years, and you dink with it and mess with it, and for like a week, it just can't seem to settle into rhythm. That's what's happening. The light system is not working correctly. my lights are not turning the right colors. I mean, some of them are. Like, this is a correct color. But this is not. This is in red here. And I'm not sure why it's in red. So that one's in red and this one's in red. These guys are in white. These are correct. But those two lights and this light are stuck in the red mode. Yeah, it's like I'm not sure what's going on. But let me put it into morning again. Well, that one changed. There they go. George is like, what the hell is going on? I'm changing all the lights in here. And he's like, hell is going on? But now this is a yellow, which much more countering this light that's here. So let's see about this light over here. Here might be a better spot for it. At least until this weekend, which may or may not work like I want it to. I'm gonna have to see this weekend. So last night I ordered 2 VESA mounts for these monitors, and over the next couple of days I'm going to build an L brace out of wood and use one of these metal braces here to support it so that the wood stays straight up and doesn't bend in either direction. And then I'm going to put those 2 VESA mounts on here, and then I'm going to take the PC box and put it here with all the cabling going through this L brace. And so the battle plan, of course, is that these monitors will then face this way straight like they're supposed to. And I'll have that monitor up here and this monitor here. And then the PC will move over here. And then I'll be able to mount this light right here with the camera right here. So it'll be aimed this way and lower. Because I feel like here, all you're doing is looking at the top of my head when I'm drawing, which is kind of weird. So I'm going to mount the camera right down here, aimed this way. Also, you can't see my lovely warp core, which is right here. So it's going to be a reorganization of some of this. This light's going to move to maybe here. So, because this is a curtain, I've got the curtain closed to 90% here, just like this. And the reason is just to keep the light glare off of this monitor. But if I can keep me well lit to some degree on this side, just a little bit more, I won't be so dramatically lit like I am now. So that's the battle plan. And then I've got 2 of these braces. Sorry. They're just like, the hell was that? I've got 2 of these braces, which makes for cool, like, bam, 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 bam. But I've got 2 of these braces. The other one I'm going to put under here because this part is not quite sturdy. Because the wood brace is back here. So this can be bent like this, just a little bit. So it'll get the flex out of that. So hopefully that'll get the flex out of it. George has to go inspect those because I dropped them on the floor over there and they made a loud noise and went clink. And he's like, rah, 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 I'm going to figure out what this is. Because he's George, and that's what George does. Hopefully then we'll have everything sort of aligned like this. And I'll actually probably put my PC flat like that with all of its cabling going back here into a coil that'll hold right there and keep the cabling from being really obtrusive. There's a hole because this is a door. This shelf is, or this all of these are doors. All of my shelves. You've seen the shelves in the background. What we did was, well, that's good. Wait, are you saying the video looks bad on this? I'm just saying. All of these. What we did was my best friend and Kevin and I, James, Kevin and I, about 2 years ago, decided that a lot of my sciatica, the pain that I was having in my joints, we didn't know that it was psoriatic arthritis. And so we decided it was, I had been sitting all the time. I was sitting all day. I was sitting all night. I was just always drawing. And so here's a video about the camera, says Brent. Okay. On my watch. Because I'm obviously... Anyway, Dick Tracy, that's what I was trying to think of. Couldn't think of it. So, in the garage in this house, we had like 5 doors from random spots in here that had been pulled out and just stuck in the garage. And shrug. So, what I did was, I took the doors, brought them in here, and we made desks out of them at bar level. And then we just braced them up against the wall with 2x4s. So they all have braces, they all have feet, and they're all super supported. But this door extends past this window here on this side, which it was intentional. So it gives a little pocket for the curtains to go and a pocket for the door to slide behind, right behind this part of this shelf. And I originally was sitting there. Now I've decided I kind of like sitting here because then I've got the park to my right. I've got daylight, and I really need daylight. I'm a daylight person, and so really kind of doing that. But the mount that I have is clamped onto the back of this door here, right here, along with my microphone stand. Good morning, Jerry. And so what I'm going to do is, like I said, I got 2 Vesa mounts that are wall mount Vesa mounts that are only about that wide. And I'm just going to bolt them to a 2x8. Just bolt them in. And then put that on it. And that'll hold the thing up. And then I'll put it right here. And then one of the monitors will be just above this monitor right here. And then the next monitor will be there. I don't know. Usually Cat, good morning, Cat. Cayen doesn't show up until about 10, typically speaking. And it's only about 9 hour time. So, generally speaking, he shows up at about 10, give or take. And he'll be here at that point. He has to feed his animals and do the morning routine because he's on a farm. So he's got to do all of his farm stuff. And I have to make alpaca you a lunch jokes every time because I cannot leave that alone. Because the alpaca are adorable and fluffy and require, I don't know. I love alpaca. They're fluffy and they're not as ornery as llamas. Llamas are really a pain in the butt. They're annoying and they're cranky, and so anyway, yeah, so he's still doing his morning chores. He usually shows up here about 10 o'clock, give or take. So in the meantime, I'm going to get cracking. I've been talking all morning here about what we're doing on this. So anyway, so it's about dinner time for you, Kat. Are you going to eat dinner with us? So we'll eat breakfast while you eat dinner. There is some real fun stuff about being two-ish hours. Wait. Do we say tea? No, do we say tea? Because that's fun. I don't know. Cultural differences make me happy. I love cultural differences. They're awesome. Okay, no cracking the whip. We'll get to work. All of this is to say, I don't know what happened to my camera in the bottom right-hand corner, but it's gone. So we'll get back to... Oh, Brent said I could do star maps? That's so cool! Brent's like, wait, what? Wait, how? Huh? How'd this happen? All right. Thai tea. I'm running black tea right now. No, I'm still on coffee. Still have coffee for the morning. It's still coffee time. Okay, so those of you who've been with me while I have done this before, I duplicate out my layers here, my inking layer, so that I have a duplicate inking layer, and then I start selecting my color tones. And I know that like her hair is going to be that color, and his hair is going to be that color, because they're already here, and her skin is going to be this color, right? So once we do this, we can get in here and at least work on some of this. We've already established some things like her hair is this color, right? And her jumpsuit is this color. All the star maps. Delete all of the star maps. And his shirt's this color, which got his entire arm, which means that we're gonna have to go back and fix it. That's okay, we'll get there. His pants are that color though. And we're still dealing with the same coat. Ugh. It's way too dark. There we go. His pants are not that color. These are the things we know from this scene. Whoop. Oh, man. Okay. Clearly, I was trying to be clever with this guy and not sealing up all of his lines. Everybody's boots are black. Just deal with it. They're all black. All right. These are the colors we know are here. Next one we're going to make sure is that we match the colors in old dude's beard. Right? And his hair. All right. Oh, probation confidentiality. Whoa. Somewhere along the line, I actually really will have to get back to working on star maps at some point. I don't know what to do about it. And as soon as I do, I think like that's when Brent is just gonna march his butt over here. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. You're out. You're out. It'd be very funny. At some point, we're gonna have to go through and just make sure everything is solid and clean on those star maps. And because of that, I'm not going to use that color for that. I am going to use that color for that, though. So we start with just the basic color layout. And this way we can start this project at some point in time with just getting the basics down. These are the colors we know exist elsewhere. So this way they match the previous pictures in here. Blah. Seems like I can't hear anything over here. Be right back. I don't know why I have so much. Man. You're like, we can do it, but first, do your other work. Just saying. Why is that leaking? Stop leaking. Are we back to drums only again? Good, thanks. I like how much effort we take to keep Red from knowing that I'm working on star maps. It cracks me up. We work hard at this. We're just saying. Right? Right? Totally. All right. Nope. All right, guys. So this is looking pretty decent. I'm going to go up and do some fixes. Like, for example, we've got to go back in all the time. The problem with anime style eyes is that I always have to go in and do this. Oh, I want to do a Dalek so bad. That'd be fun. And don't think I won't do a Dalek, man. I will. He's so cool. I still think My favorite scene in all of Doctor Who. That's not probably true necessarily, but my favorite scene in most of Doctor Who was when the Daleks showed up again in the new series in Rose, and they come up to the stairs, and that had thwarted the Fourth Doctor many times. The stairs, and they were like, elevate, elevate. They go up the stairs. I was like, see, I've been waiting for them to figure that one out for years. Oh man, Daleks are the best. All right, I think we have basic colors in. Rebark. They sound like, whenever I do them, they sound like sheep. One could argue. Nope. All right, the basic colors in. Just making sure every last piece is basic color. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of other things real quick here. Make sure that all of the light-skinned people are not, in fact, filling the entire universe. Thanks, dude. That's cool. I am truly intrigued to have Matt Smith, or to have Tennant back. I know it's temporary, but I am intrigued. I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna sit there and go, what the heck are you doing? But I'm trying to see what didn't get filled in. Nope. Because we're gonna need to move up a level. Here, in a second. And so I want to make sure that everything is sealed before I move up a level. Or we're going to move down the level is really what we're going to do. And that's why we got to go fix you. What is it with this guy? What is my problem? What is your problem, dude? I'm determined not to seal him up. See, he's not sealing the other side either. Man, it's just like I'm gonna be all artsy fartsy when I draw this guy, and not seal him up. Like this isn't sealed either. I'm just gonna do it this way. After whatever I've been. 3, 2. It's morning. Gotta give BBC props on that though. The Daleks are a super unique villain. And considering the BBC's general budget back then, you gotta give them props. Like they did a good job with that. Clearly running a plunger on one of its arms. I'm going in here and just cleaning it all up. Baby Dalek gets sold outside. That's good. Okay, that was good. Props to you on that one. Good job. I have Lego Daleks. They are my favorites. They're downstairs, but they crack me up more than anything should crack me up. They're awesome. All right. Now we're just going in here and we're cleaning up this. I'm just going and catching any kind of area where I want. I don't want to be able to see through to the bottom part here. So we're going to go through here. We're just cleaning up all of this and making sure that all these little holes in here are this way, because whatever I'm going to do to the background, I'm probably just going to do it wholesale as one unit, because there's not enough background visible. So we're going to make it look like docs without actually having to put in doc information. Right? So but in order to do so, we want to make sure that we've filled in all of the holes so that nothing. Oh, you know something? You can't. Her arm is here somewhere. Just saying. There we go. That was something that was interesting in Tenet's time. I found that fascinating. When David Tennant was Doctor, there was a lot in there humanizing the Daleks a lot. And that was an interesting thing. The whole point and concept behind the Time Lords' war with them and things like that was just fascinating to me. I love it when people do stuff like that. Change your perception of things. Mariah is a Whovian. I mean, I loved Doctor Who as a kid when they would show it here. And I even have like a weird doctor, because my doctor is 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, which most people I meet are 4th Doctor fans, Tom Baker. And it's not that I don't like Tom Baker. I love Tom Baker. I just love Sylvester McCoy better. That's all. I just thought he was funnier. He was cool. I liked him. So I'm a Sylvester McCoy fan, which generally speaking is kind of, you know, people are like, huh, that's a weird one. And even when they brought Peter McGann in for that movie that was, I'm not even really sure what they were after. They brought in Sylvester McCoy to regenerate out to Peter McGann. Here we go. My hot photo here. First things first, block you on YouTube. Second things second, add to the block list on Restream. Poof. And now Bob won't be able to get in again. But that's all right. Sorry, Bob. Shrug. Do what I can. Yeah, time count. Yeah, thanks, YouTube, for allowing bots and spam. But not allowing nudity. I'll tell you, if one of my maquettes is naked, you can guarantee that they will block my entire show. Boof. But bots, yeah, no, we can have bots. Why wouldn't we have bots? That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing. Come on, everybody knows that. But nudity, no, don't do that. All right. All right, looks like we're pretty sealed in except for the gun, which I haven't decided what color it is. I guess I'll come up with a color here. I guess I'll start with should be darker. We'll go here, 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 here. Now we'll do this. Here, 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 here. And then pick a medium like you. Go here and here. That's fine. This is too light, I feel like. It's not contrasting well there, so maybe we should do this. Dang it. How is it leaking into here? I must have broken through here at the bottom of this by accident. That's fine. All right. Alrighty, guys. Looks like this is pretty solid. I think maybe actually I want to go with this color for her dress back here. Maybe. Right. And I feel like that the Eccleston version was okay. I mean, it wasn't like bad. But I feel like they really pushed it further later on. That's more what I think I want. It blends with her skirt too much. I think I am going to have to go this dark. Because it's the only way to get it to look distinctly different from that. Nope. Because I was just being too awesome of an artist at this point in time. I'm too awesome. I can't do this way. I can't work under these conditions. There are not enough blue M&Ms. All right. Now I'm liking it. That looks, our base colors are down. This is what we call flatting. So we'll move on from this point to the background, which originally was, that's not going to cut it. I just don't feel like this background's going to cut it at all. So I'm going to kill this background and put in a new one. Because really, the background doesn't need to be that serious. The foreground is already complex enough. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we're in full black mode. We're going to just bring a line to there. Then we're going to select that. And we're going to go with different colors here. We're going to take like a light gray. We're going to go to this one side and we're going to go to, say, a medium gray. Like so, I'm going to take this. And we're just going to do this number. Right? And that gives us ground. Serve Klingons versus Psychos in a battle. Okay? Not sure what that means per se, but okay. And then I'm just going to put some lines that indicate like crossed wires sort of things going up and above, like so. Because there's always lines and hooks. Battlefield Earth, yeah. Pretty good book. Right? And I can take these curves and just go from here to here. And that's not going to do what I want it to do because it's not thick enough. But it if I do it from here to here, like so, right? We just get things that are hooked across the top part of this. Maybe even hook this down just a small amount. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's give it a little bit of a... And Travolta's always kind of interesting. No matter which way you put it, John Travolta is a fascinating individual. Oh, man. Arrgh. Standing up again. All streams need one of these. There? Okay. Anyway. Travolta? No. I think my favorite cameo from Star Trek, though, is Mick Jagger. And you're like, huh? Because he played an Antiskin, which was even funnier. And that's just one of those listed under a what? Iggy Pop was in Star Trek. He played I can't think of his name because he only played in one episode. But he was a Vorta in Deep Space Nine. Cracks me up every time. Slater? Yeah. It's because... So, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but all of the movies were casted by Mary Jo Slater, who's Christian Slater's mom. She was the casting director. And Christian Slater is a huge Trekkie, because I don't think we ever stopped being Trekkies. Yes. Kirstie Alley, yeah. She was pretty cool. I was very sad to lose Kirstie Alley, though. All right. Okay, here's how we're going to do the sky. The sky goes from absolute bright to dark-ish. Like so. Then we need to make it slightly darker though. Then we've got we're going to take our cloud brush. We've got a cloud brush for this. Right? So these are my cloud brushes. I'm going to go in the white and I'm just going to put in some clouds. Okay, we'll start with some stratocumulus clouds. Indicate this is sky up here, right? Because we want to make sure that it doesn't look, these are lines across the sky. So we want to make sure that those look like lines across the sky because they're outside. Right, and so we'll do that. And that gives us just a little bit of a feeling of just, kind of the wistfulness of clouds. Give it just a little bit of kind of a feeling that things are going on up here in the sky. Like so. And that gives us a little bit of that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a bunch of silhouetted machinery in the background to just indicate that something is going on up here. Right? Because it's a port. And this just adds to the feel that something's going on out here. Okay. Just adding to, bits and pieces just hanging out behind here. Because these are, whatever is going to happen is happening at a very large scale back here. So, first thing we're going to do is this, where we've got it all darkened in, just so we can see what it is. The next thing we're going to do then is we're going to go up here. We're going to go into tonal correction. We're going to hue, saturation, and luminosity. I'm going to raise its luminosity up. All right. Because things in the background, they start to fade out when they're too far away. Right? So we don't want it to be too structurally involved. Also, it's colliding now with Jocelyn's head, so I don't want to get it too collided in there. But we need to remember that this is steampunk, so things that happen in steampunk occur. So at this point in time, we can take the front away and kind of get an idea of what's going on in the back to get just sort of an idea of what we're trying to do here. And just get an idea of what is happening in this background. Because none of this is important to have like straightened up after this point. So we can just make this big block like so. make this a big block like so, and stuff. Maybe even a couple of other blocks that might just show up in the background, as sort of just buildings of some sort, right? None of this has to be very specific because you're not going to see any of it, right? So it's all going to be somewhere back here just to give a feeling that there's a city behind them of some sort. So I'm using only the square tools for these things to give just a feel of buildings and, structure and industry, because it's an industrial port, right? So you'll see bits and pieces behind everybody, but nothing major, right? Okay, the next thing we're going to do with this, just kind of getting this background here, is there are panicked people, right? So I have people back here somewhere. Because this is a port and there are people running around. We want to make sure that we have the feel that people are running around. Question is, do I still have in my art brushes people? Because if not, I know I do have it in my texture maps. So we're going to pull out my textures. Not those textures, though. No. Manga materials. Image materials, maybe. Illustration? Yeah, I've got people. Right? So we can... Yeah. We're going to bring in people. Like so. That are standing in the background. Like this. We're not ready to fix those in yet, but we will. I know I brought more. Like I thought I had a brush that did this. You'll notice all the smoke and things that I have here. Chaos. We have chaos. Oh, birds. Yep. Let's go back through here and fix the birds. Birds are good. Put the birds behind all this chaos layer because they're out there somewhere. And then we'll take these guys and make them small and put them way back here. So that they're behind our main characters. This just gives the feeling that there are people behind them doing stuff and moving around. I don't need to. Good morning, Patsy. Good morning, Booma. So what we're doing is I'm placing these shadows behind them to give just a feel if there are other people on this port, like freaking out and doing stuff. Right? And then with just a few simple, simple movements, we've made this a much cleaner and Oh, excellent. I will give you things to beta read when I write them. Yeah, maybe I should write some of those things. I'm just saying. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, all right. Having moved on to here, this is where we are in this scene. It's a little bit cluttered in the background. So on this layer, I want to make sure that I'm going to take a full white layer. I don't need this out anymore. Nope, that's the one we need. Don't need this one, that one. We're going to take a full white layer here and do this. I did, Booma. Thank you very much. It did come in, and I've put it with all of the other things that need to go to the museum. I have not opened it yet, though. So if there's a bomb in there, it has not gone off. I'm just saying. The background is not as important as the foreground, so I have put this white layer in to just make it so that I can de-emphasize or re-emphasize the background as much as I need to. It's not as critical, right? Especially since I haven't put in shading yet up here on this foreground. So the more we're dealing with Booma. So Robert and I go back to NDK 1, 2, and 3, the very beginning of the Nandeskan world, where he was my head of security, and I was head of ops. So operations was my specific place, and he was my head of security. And he went by the handle of Booma, which is it's from a show called Bubblegum Crisis. It's a Japanese anime from the 80s, 90s, which we were all enamored with. And the Booma that's what they really were called, boomers, but it was, it's referring to the military term of a nuclear weapon, the boomer, like a nuclear sub. So they called the robots that the people who were disguised, or who were disguised, because they were actually work robots. They were disguised as humans, and they would sometimes go crazy. And when they did, it was the job of the AD police to put them down. But then at some point, as part of the story, the AD police were no longer capable of putting down boomers. And so they put out the Night Sabers. And the Night Sabers were vigilantes. They weren't part of the government. But the Night Sabers then were a group of 4 women in power suits. And the power suits allowed them to do a lot of damage. So anyway, he's not wrong either on that one. Booma was a slang term as well. So it's one of those things in the early days of anime. We had lots of different translations because there was no official company that was bringing over anime. We would just get anime from somebody who duplicated the tape while they were in Japan last week and then brought the tape back to us. So a lot of times we would get these tapes, and the tapes were, you know, ancient seven generations down, recorded on SLP, yada 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 yada. And so we ended up with some funny things. But the thing is that, so I've always called him Booma because he's my buddy, and that was his call sign back in the day. So he's still called Booma because I'm not shaking that. Absolutely. Okay, I want to show you guys something. One of my absolute prides and joys here. I'm going to turn on the camera for a second because I got to switch back to other mode. Look at this. Computer. Lights. There we go. I gotta get it where it's not reflecting the. There we go. Look at that. This is one of my really rare things. This is Guy Tower, which is from Bubblegum Premises. Yep, and that's Guy Tower, and I'm gonna have to reorganize everything and have it go back to daytime broadcast lights. Thank you. And that's the actual background. It was recovered by a buddy of mine from the trash out of ArtMech when ArtMech went under. They threw everything away. Actually, I don't think it was recovered out of the trash. I've got two different stories because one of my buddies actually worked for ArtMech and he got the cells as he left as a going away party. Another buddy got cells from the trash as they were leaving. So it's like I can't remember which story belongs to where, but that's the actual background. That's the real honest to goodness that's the real honest to goodness background from that. And it's framed and the bottom of the frame just came off, so that's why it's not on my wall. Usually it sits on my wall, but the bottom of the frame came off, and when it did, I noticed that there is a slight amount of discoloration in the paper behind it. So I'm going to take it out and reframe it, because if it's getting discoloration, that means that it's getting UV damage, and I do not want that to be UV damaged. So it is. However, 15 by 12. So it's 12 by 15. Do not want that to be UV damaged at all. Hey, old school animation is a dying art. There is no one does animation like that anymore. There's no reason to. So anyway, that's one of my very rare difficult things to deal with. Super rare. All right. those things. What's what's so funny is so many of my friends have nicknames. Like Booma is Booma, and Booma will always be Booma in my world. That's just the way it goes. I was always Guy. But like my nickname was Guy. I mean, I do have the abnormal I have what's left of an RPG book. Whew, it's in bad shape, but I bought it at a garage sale for like $2 and it was in lousy shape. And I was like, you know what? This is so hard to get the Night Sabers RPG book. And just having the artwork that's in the Night Sabers RPG book is valuable. So I was willing to get it. I mean, obviously for $2, I was certainly willing to get it. But that's all I got, man. I don't even have the full book. So yes. But you and I met online when I was using a call sign. And so I find that fascinating as well. Because you're right, you totally did. You met me as Ab. But I don't actually go by that name in real life in any way. Whereas we actually call Booma Booma. Which I don't know if anybody still calls you Booma. And if you'd rather that I call you Robert, you may absolutely ask me to do so, and I will try to change that. It's always interesting too when we talk about things like people who are trans or whatever, where they change their name and they're like, people are having such a hard time remembering my new name, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I've had friends for years who've had call signs or nicknames or whatever, and they're just, that's who they are, and I'm okay with that. I don't have any problem with it. As long as it doesn't bother you, my friend, as long as it doesn't bother you, we're good. All right, I'm just putting in shadows to just kind of give some differentiation in here. Hard coloring and stuff like that to kind of make it. That's cool. The other Robert that I know, we call him Armstrong, so it makes total sense. The same. That's not even. I don't even know where he got Armstrong from. So when you do shading, the thing, you are very infamous in indie K history. The thing about shading is you want it to follow the contours of the body and or the object that you're trying to run around here. You also want it to give support to the character. But we're also going to do two things. One, like go around the eyes here and kind of get into the eye sockets. That gives a little bit of depth in there. And we'll go around the outside of her face. She's got a round face. So we'll round it, whereas she's got a very straight face like so. So we're going to come around there and do that with her to give more of a striking feature, because she's going to have more like that, like these sharp cheeks. We were. There's a lot of things that we did first. And that's important. And we set tones, right? And that's like a very important thing. We set the tone for things. And it's critical. See you later. Bye, Patsy. You did. You did indeed push for all of that. Now we're getting the bass. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm entertained. Yep. There you go. Go in here. Gosh, I hope nobody's over on the other side. No. Until I get that other monitor up, I'm swapping back and forth on this second monitor. So, get there. Ooh. All right. Ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, ba-doom. Ba-doom. Now I'm just going in with the blending tool. I'm just blending it in. No. I keep calling them doorstops even today. I think that's particularly funny because that is like my name for them. And Amanda doesn't seem to have as much of a problem with it, I guess. But I find that even funnier. Why would she not want you to call them doorstops? I'm curious. Probable mobility inhibitors. That's awesome. Oh man, that's the stuff, man. That's the stuff. But I am, if that helps any, I'm totally amused. I would have been amused back then too. I'm like, what? That's awesome. That's beautiful. It totally is Star Trek techno babble. Mm. Right. PMI for my comic book. Okay, be right back. I'll be right back. All right. No, since she's so close up here and she's so close to where we are, I'm trying to make the shadows sort of fit what's going on here on the side of her head and stuff like that. So, but you'll notice that one of the things I'm doing is just going through here with the skin brush tool, which I have from WAP, and just kind of putting in, roughly where we're going, and then coming back with the blending tool and blending it in, and that gives us this painterly effect. Makes it look like it's painted, but I'm also giving reflected light off the front there. So that works too. Door stops. I have lost my mouse once again. All right. So leave out some cheese. There's a cat in our backyard. That's making George fascinated, which explains why George is not, in fact, up here at all. Spend most of my time kind of alternating between the see you later, Booma. Alternating between the blending brush and the skin brush, which I use, which this is not a blending brush, I guess, more like a blending tool. So yeah, we'll alternate between those two. And this gives me some pattern here. right? I'm just going to be light through this area because, of course, that's sort of, he's prepping his, whatever that is this is Deus Ex Machina. He's prepping it here, so I kind of want to be light in this area, specifically because I want to kind of do it right. There we go. All right. Well, we'll save this for now. And I actually am running out of steam. I'm kind of a all getting to here. No, that one. So it was kind of a haul getting to here. So I feel like we are doing pretty good, though. I feel like we've gotten a long ways through. And now I'm going to give my hand a rest for a minute or two, because that's kind of rough. It doesn't help any that I started practicing violin recently. So now I've got holding my violin bow and things like that are becoming, this is all new muscles for me. And so trying to kind of get these to play on the board and these to play on the bow is complicated. and difficult. But I'm working on it. My violin's right there, so we're working on this problem, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, the long and the short of it is I'm going to go on ahead and bow out for the day. We're a little bit early, but I'm just kind of out of steam. So I will see you all tonight as usual. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. But before I go, though, I should say thank you to Booma and Patsy and Max and Brent. And wow, we had a lot of people today. Think about this. We had Patsy, we had Brent, we had Booma, we had Donald here for a little while. And we definitely had Max, or Kat. Kat was here and hasn't been here in a while. So I'm hoping that didn't. We'll see what happens. So Kat was here. Yeah. So we had a lot of people in the chat today. So thank you to all of you guys who showed up. I appreciate it. I hope you guys all got some work done too while you're at it. No, you don't have to worry about it. That's the whole point. The whole point here, Brent, is that I keep you company while you're working. You keep me company while I'm working. And even if that means you're just listening, you're still there. You're still part of the entire point behind this. So anyway, I will see you guys all tonight. And until then, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.